Justice League number 43. This is the final issue, actually, of this run. Not only of Priest, but also just this numbering. This is the final of this volume of Justice League.
To be back in a couple of months.
wreck.
Yeah, we went to issue 1 in June. But so this is Christopher Priest and Pete Woods. This is the final of his run. Wraps up the fans. Well, the fan kind of got wrapped up last issue, but it was kind of the fallout of the wrap up of that.
Unceremoniously.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dealing with a few other things. And I have to. So this is the thing, right? So I want to talk about 2 of the Fallout things, right? First, the 2 Green Lanterns, right? So Simon's is really funny. That's because the whole thing has been worried about this lunch with Superman, and we see him at the. And again, it's this like POV. It's almost like from Clark's point of view, seeing him like be all worried. He's like, and he thinks he's getting fired from the Justice League, so he's just sort of like yelling at him and angry, and he sort of leaves off in a tiff, and Clark's just sitting there going, huh? And the waitress is like, is he okay? He's like, I'll have the fish, please. And it's a good little joke. It pays off the running joke we've had with Simon, with him not being sure what this lunch with Superman was, and we see that Clark's just there in his glass. He's all innocent. That's just he genuinely just wanted to have lunch with him.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
I just love how he went into like, as per the labor unions, you can't fire me without just cause.
Yeah. It's we have an implied contract.
Yeah. And then the Jessica stuff, this is the thing. I think the Jessica scene here that wraps up the Kiss stuff is actually funny on its own. I actually like this scene a lot. However, it actually just makes the kiss itself with Batman annoy me way more because there was never an explanation or reason for it.
She just kissed him.
And it felt, because I actually went back and read that scene from the issue. I was like, after I read this, I thought, oh, this is really funny, because she goes to the man, she's like, hey, I want to apologise, I think we should agree that, this was a mistake.
You're the fiancé.
And to its credit, because we were saying, what about, is he forgetting Selena? And sure enough, Selena opens the door, and she's like, oh, hey, I'm the fiancé. And she's like, I kissed him. It's like, I know, do you want to come in? The Real Housewives is on. Let's go watch. It's like, that's funny.
Like, I'm sorry, what for? I love balloons.
Yeah, it's funny that Selena doesn't give a shit, right? That is genuinely quite funny. But I went back and read the scene where she kissed him, and it still feels super awkward and out of character. It still does.
I don't understand what it doesn't make any sense for Jessica specifically. The real, she's afraid of everything, interaction.
Yeah, I think this would work. This would work for almost any other character.
Yeah.
Almost any, it's a moment of weakness, it's a moment of whatever. But in that scene, it felt weird because we were convinced she was like being mind controlled, or it wasn't actually her. It was so out of character, and it never felt right, and it still doesn't. So, hey ho, we'll just forget about it.
That, she had a thing for Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could just forget about it now. But hey, that was funny. I do like that Jessica was kind of prominent in this issue. That she starts and ends it. She has the bookend where she's in the Hall of Justice, presumably. At the new table, and she's like cracking jokes at the start. I liked all that stuff where she's like, yes, Chairman Cruz presiding, yes, okay, 15-minute grace window, then I start firing people. All that stuff was just kind of amusing. It was fun.
Yeah, well, and I like that when Vixen shows up and she's like, well, I guess it's just not the end for our team either.
And but I like the whole idea because obviously it teases the new Justice League team at the end with Martian Manhunter and all that. They show up and like, hey, Jessica Cruz, something's happened. We need your help. Are you game? And I do like that it's kind of the newest person. I mean, obviously Baz is still pretty new as well, but she's the newest. She's even newer than he is, arguably. And I like that she's the one who's like, do I come? Yeah, of course I do. And she steps in, and that's how because it ends with this kind of upbeat, hopeful, look forward to the new Justice League stuff. So I like that too as well.
Yeah.
The actual resolution to the Deathstroke stuff in Africa, whatever.
I can basically just skip over all that and not care at this point.
I understand where Priest is coming from because it's such a dodgy international relations thing.
Yeah.
And how he points out that the people that you're protecting are the ones that were wiping out the people before that are now trying to wipe
happen
them
to
out.
land here. Yeah. Me and Pete had the whole debate on this
and
the week you were away.
The debate is interesting, it's worth having, but I feel like this had to be twice as long to actually explore it.
Yeah. You do that in Deathstroke where you have 30 issues to explore that, not 6. Because because now that we know that Priest knew that this run wasn't going to be long, like
he shouldn't have put too much. He should have just had the fan, have the fan be the core thing for the 12 issues, whatever it was. I mean, there's some fun moments mixed in, like Wonder Woman not being there for the plan, where they're all going to fake, pretend to be beat up by Deathstroke. So Wonder Woman comes in and starts beating the shit out of him. She's like, someone didn't get the memo. So,
well, and I like symbolically, she's the one that has the lasso of truth, right? So
she doesn't lie about it essentially, where everyone else is, it's this cheat.
Yeah, because she's off getting healed by Raven. She's in like her mind, and Thanatos is trying to corrupt her.
That was pretty cool. It
was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't.
Jazeki and that whole thing, and
I really love the ideas, but this needs a good 20 issues dedicated to it.
And the cyborg stuff, I'm still not sure on. Like, what was the point there? Like,
take a pass on Cyborg.
Like he tries to do the resolution with Batman, and Batman's like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted you to feel like what it was like to be leader." I was like, "Well, why?" Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like Cyborg was spearheading the "let's vote Batman out as leader." Oh, let's see how you fare. You know what I mean? It was just a weird resolution. Like
it played kind of weird to me as well. It was working to a point, but then it kind of ended in this kind of animosity when Cyborg punches him, and I was like, okay, I'm not really sure kind of like what the point of this was directly. I mean, I felt
like we had two stories and neither of them got a proper ending.
Yeah.
Between the fan and how it started with how he was going around and they were trying to put limits on the Justice League. And...
Because the interesting part of that in this issue is where Deathstroke turns around and says, "Admit it, you're actually relieved that I killed him because it solves the problem." Yeah. Like that is the interesting part of that. That's the idea that I want explored. But it happened so quick and out of nowhere last issue that it doesn't feel like it properly built to it.
Yeah.
And it feels like I need another couple of issues at least to deal with just the ramifications of that.
Well, yeah, because you look at Identity Crisis, and spoiler alert for people that haven't read Identity Crisis, but part of that is what was Justice League going to do about Dr. Light and what he had done, and they had a vote, and then Batman comes in halfway through the vote, sees what they're doing, is like, well, no, you can't do this, just period.
Yeah, that's
and
crossing
they
the
might
line.
Him. Yeah, and so Batman's affected, and then all of these heroes that had voted, like some of them were like, yeah, let's lobotomize him. The other one's like, no, we can't do that. And why that broke up that version of the team. And it was really smart, telling this, kind of a reboot there.
And it plays the same sort of beats here where, Batman and Superman have that talk about, okay, what broke up the great bands, like...
Right. Yoko Ono.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, no, it's all about we not being able to forgive each other, not being able to come together, and talking about the league is where we're supposed to have the common ground.
I like the tease of but this is the funny thing though, is that no one's actually leaving the team. All the members are still going to be there for the new team.
Yeah.
So I like the start and the end. I like the tease for the next stuff. I just the resolution to the plots were a little bit too rushed and didn't have the time to explore it properly. So it's a shame. Because it started off pretty strong back when Priest still started on the book.
I really liked that stuff and how, because Batman wasn't getting enough sleep and he was, burning the candle on both ends and couldn't lead the team.
I wonder if he knew it was going to be a short one, but he didn't know exactly how short it was going to be. Yeah. And he was told after the first 6 issues, okay, it's going to be this many left. And he's like, oh shit, I thought it was going to be twice as many as that. So he then had to truncate the rest of it down. And he was maybe just too stubborn with himself to actually just take things out. So he...
I think so.
Squished it all in because it felt perfectly paced for the first 6 or 7 issues, and then it was the back half.
Ultimately, it feels like this bastardized version of what could have been.
Yeah, and maybe he's just assuming, if I ever do get to write Justice League again, it'll be too long, so I'll just get this out now.
Maybe it's like he's never going to get another shot to tell this story, so might as well tell the weaker version at least, because at least he's telling a version of it.